Okay, what we're gonna do here is to replace the extension, the motor extension cable. So this extension cable, it you can see here, it connects to the controller. There's a controller inside that, the left controller, and comes here and connects to this cable, and it runs inside of the arm, and there's another connection to the motor. Okay, so to do this job, and why we are replacing, because sometimes this cable can get broken inside, so you have no connection or some kind of different problem. And also this cable can be damaged in this area, okay, by the swing arm if it's placed in a wrong way. To do this job, we will need cutter and 5 millimeters Allen wrench, and then a 6 millimeters Allen wrench and a 13 open-end wrench. And because we may need to drop this arm a little bit to get more space to pull this cable. So we will start by cutting the zip ties here, so I can disconnect this the motor cable. We'll unwrap the coil wrap. So we have to remove this coil wrap actually, and a little bit of the coil wrap runs inside of the arm. So we'll have to, if we can pull it, okay, have to be patient here. That's the little point here that we'll have to keep unwrapping, and maybe you have to stretch it until you get it out. Okay, so be patient there. Inside these 3 cables is one brake hose. This cable is for the rear light, that's thinner, and this thick one is for the motors. All these 3 cables go inside of the arm, and there's a hose, like a phone hose, like a conduit that these 3 cables run inside, and that the reason we use that phone is to avoid like rattling noise inside of the arm. So let's place the trike in a way that we can work it, because this is a good way to work, but it's hard to work here, this part, when it's on the floor, by the floor and everything. So what we're gonna do is, I have like a table or some kind of surface that I can put the trike against. We are working on the left side. So if I'm working on the left side, I will turn the trike this way, lock the steering, lock the front brake, okay? Because I will bring this up closer here. There are 2 ways, or you rest the handlebar there so I can work in this area, or if you don't have a table like that, just have a wall. We're gonna put the trike all the way down here and lean against that wall, okay? So it's stable. Let's show here close up what I'm talking about. So because this hose, it has to make a bend to exit the arm, and the shock is on the way, so it's hard for me to just pull this cable easy, because it will be a little bit there's a restriction here. So another thing, if your trike has this zip tie and this zip tie here, let's cut. We don't want them anymore. We want this cable, the lights cable, free. So let's cut this one too. So when we put them back together, we don't need these zip ties. We want this cable free, so it will not break, because if you restrict, you see, it will, when the swing arm moves up and down, it can break. So we know this. But also next step will be to get this shock off the the you know the way out of the way so we can work here. So we have to choose. I think I will work on the top one and release this shock from the frame. So I will need, do you see here, let's go around and show there's a stopper. This is stopper for the swing arm, so the swing arm doesn't fall, but we have to remove this stopper so the swing arm will move all the way. So yeah, let's pull the kickstand here, remove this stopper. Let's totally remove it. Okay, it's out of the way, good enough. Now we can remove this, remove the shock, the bolt on the top or here, but I think the best option will be the top. So with the 13 millimeters, you hold the nut. Then you come from this side with 6 millimeters. Usually what you do is you have to first hold here and move the nut first. Oh, yeah. Once you lose the nut, then it's easy to... Oh, yeah. So keep your eyes on this nut, because once it's loose, you don't need the 13 millimeters anymore. Hold the nut, otherwise you will drop and it will go inside of that arm and it will be a little work to remove it. So keep turning until you get this bolt out. Okay. And now we can move the swing arm out of the way, and now you can see these holes is easy to work with. So what we have to do again with the cutter, we'll cut this zip tie that holds the cable to the brake holes, and we will disconnect. Do you see there? I'm moving the extension. What we're gonna do is we will connect the new cable here. And we will pull it through from here. But be careful, because it may disconnect, and then if it disconnects, we'll have more work to do. So what we're gonna do, I will pause here, we'll put a tape over it, connect it, really push it all the way. And let's cover this edge. This edge can be the problem when it's moving that way. So we use a tape here to not just to hold them together, but to minimize that edge. Okay. So another thing that can help us is to put some lubricant here. I have a little spray. Get a little bit of oil. And this will help us to slide it inside. So here's the holes. I will start. So you have to help here it to get started. This is a little tight. Okay. Okay, once it gets started there, it gets inside of the holes. I'm moving try to get this straight here. You see it's coming. Ooh, we got it. So now I will undo this tape. I have more tape here. Okay, so we already ran the cable, and we start assembling. Before we lose this, make sure you have the alignment of the arrow here with the arrow or the lines. Make sure you connect all the way. There's like a line, transversal line here. That's your reference, so it has to go all the way. Okay, pull this cable, you see it's nice. We will put the shock bolt back again. If you can show from here, it will be a, yeah. Okay, so the trick here is get that thread a little bit, showing a little bit, and then we will, you hold this nut, and keep moving this bolt. Just try to get it aligned and don't drop the nut, okay? That, if you drop the nut, it will go inside of the arm, and then we have to have extra work. So, okay. So you will turn as lock as much as you can here, and then use the wrench to give it nice torque. So you want a good torque in this. Okay. We will get the stopper back in place. Okay. Tight weld these two bolts, go back and forth. This one, this. You see, every time you tight one, the other one gets a little loose. So yeah, this is what we want all the way. Okay, so it's replaced. We'll put a zip tie here to keep them together. Remember, this one now, from now on, will be loose here. This is what we want, so it will not break. And then we'll come back here and got our the wrapping. Start in the middle here is the easiest way. You start in the middle, then you have two short sides. And also when it's short and you have not wrapped it all the way, it's easier to slide, you see? You slide a little bit in to protect here so the cables will not be cut. Finish wrapping. Leave a little bit room for this one. Keep wrapping the rest here because you want some room for you to work on the connection. So keep it wrapping. Okay, so let's remove the protection. Look at these pins. These pins have to be all straight. So this is why we ship it with this protection. If any pin is bent, try to bend back and get them kind of straight and even. Line with line. Be careful to just start here. You have to feel that engages, then push all the way. Okay. And then we will zip tie them together. I think there was two zip ties here. And it is done. You just replace the motor extension cable that goes from the controller to the back. So remember, always the motor has one connector near to the motor when you need to remove the wheel for tire replacement or brake service, and another one here when you have to work with the controller. You have to disconnect here. So there are two connections that must be well connected or the motor will not work. Okay, so we just finished replacing the motor extension cable.